Representative will comment without microphones, but so if you have not registered, please go ahead and register with our group at the table. And we'll begin our function this afternoon. I'd like to also call out to those under the tent. We still have plenty chairs up in the house here. Please feel free to come up so you can see and hear the presentation that will be doing later on this afternoon. At this time, I'm going to call on to the Director of OAS, Office of Administrative Services, to deliver the Governor's message this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Director. Governor called me this morning. This happened over the weekend, and unfortunately, he is not. He will not be able to join us. Nevertheless, it is our hope that he recovers under God's lead. Despite such, we are going to proceed accordingly, and I will have to deliver and read these remarks for today's important event. Honorable Speaker, members of the United States Legislature, Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Chairman of the members of the Traditional Council of Kilo, Honorable Chairman Balu, and members of the Chairman of the Council of Kilo, Honorable Senator Westman, Honorable Senator Today, Chairman George Chobani, Yap Chamber of Commerce. I see in the group members of the village armed forces, dignitaries, and ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me thank the Lord Almighty for another blessed day, where He has enabled us to come together to this very important stakeholders event called ADB Sustainable Road Infrastructure Investment Project. Additionally, please join me in welcoming our other guests, the Honorable Secretary of the NSM National Government Department of Transportation, Communication, and Infrastructure, and his esteemed delegates who have traveled afar, given they have to fly fast. Hospitalized, then make the way back to Yap in a very short time. Mr. Secretary, if you would allow me to point out a few things before we continue the session today, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you,
your delegation and His Excellency President David Manuel for all the assistance He has rendered to our state of Yap in the past 4 years in many ways. I'm sure the people of Yap are very appreciative for your continued generosity every time we call on you at the national level. We know that without communication, there is no information. We can have all the top of the line gadgets in the world, but with no means of communication, such as we know that without transportation, there's no education. We can have all the services in the government installed, but with no modes of transportation such as airplanes, ships, vehicles, roads, and bridges, and open ocean, our people won't receive the benefits of our services, be it in education, health, and others. We know that without communication, there's no information. We can have all the top of the line gadgets in the world, but with no means of communication, entities such as telecom, media, broadcasting, and e-technology, our people won't hear or be able to interact with their government for our service. We know that without infrastructure, there will be no transportation and communication. We can have all the infrastructure built and developed, such as airport terminals, seaports, sewage, tunnels, and mass public facilities, but with no means of transportation and communication for our people, things can be organized chaos. However, today we are so grateful that President Honolulu has blessed us with your presence to continue to support us in all of these areas, for not only for our people in Yap and migration, but including essential workers, tourists, and needed cargoes for all of us. One that I would not want to forget is how you diplomatically saved our state from losing out from the OIA $40 million under the economics. When I shared this with our state leadership, we got their full support to seek ways on utilizing the obligated but unspent money based on our internal challenges. Mr. Secretary, while I could go on for quite some time, let me yield the floor to you for a more eloquent purpose of your official visit, and please feel free to share your foresights on anything that you feel Yap needs to improve on in executing projects timely and more suitable to the people of Yap and its environment, custom, and tradition at the same time. Before I conclude, I would be remiss if I don't also recognize the presence of Miss Maybelline Anton Thiem, who is part of your delegation representing the ADB office in FSL. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our honored guest this afternoon. So, God bless us all.
Thank you, Director Dave. Please give them another round of applause for the special guest. I have the privilege to call on the Honorable Secretary Paulson Evans to reciprocate this afternoon's remarks from the Governor. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Secretary Evans.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Director, for presenting the other results. Zero, good afternoon. Please allow me to begin by thanking our Heavenly Father for all His blessings and His freedoms. Yes. Having said that, we are now take this opportunity to express my humble respect to the Honorable Chairman of the Council of Peru and the members of the Council. I also extend my humble respect to the Honorable Chairman of the Council of Football and the members of the Council. I also extend my respects to the Honorable Congress Salary. We regret that he was not able to make it, and we really pray for his speedy recovery. I also extend my respects to the Honorable Speaker here, who I understand is had to attend to some other meetings, but we extend our respects to him and the honorable members of the legislature, especially those who have joined us this afternoon, and to all state officials here today. The Yap delegation was not able to make it to other priority meetings as well, but I do extend my respects to the Honorable Chairman Pierre and Chairman Guzman. I wish to also extend special respects to our church leaders, community leaders, the Chamber of Commerce, our elders, and all who call Yap their own. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of our friends from the U.S. military, and I thank you for joining us. May I also extend special acknowledgement to the Asian Development Bank, those participating virtually, and those who have joined us in person, especially Maybelline and Kim, who heads the ADB office in the ASEAN. On our collective behalf, I wish to express our utmost appreciation to the ADB for funding this important project. Now, on behalf of His Excellency, President David W. Manuel, I would like to welcome all participants to this first consultation we have for preparing the Sustainable Road Infrastructure Investment Project, or SRIIP. Thank you all for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, I learned an old saying that is very relevant to us today. The saying states that if you want to become rich, build your roads first. That means if we want to develop and improve our socio-economic welfare of our people, we must first build our roads and infrastructure. And that is what we are here to do today, to discuss our road projects in a comprehensive and inclusive manner, so that everyone here today can contribute to making this project a successful one. This is a participatory approach so that the government and the people of Yap can take ownership of the projects. This consultation is a statewide engagement with relevant stakeholders on the selected roads and bridges of interest. You all may have heard in President Manuel's previous speeches his reference to the Pave the Nation project.
which is one of the top priority one of his top priority development projects. The component of the Philippine Nation project includes the components of the Philippine Nation project includes the prime and the score projects funded by the World Bank. For Yap, the prime will focus on the village and Tangyal bridges, while score will focus on the Warren Pile Road. The third component of the Philippine Nation program is the SRIIP, which intends to address the deteriorated state of the nation's road network by complementing the plan in the score. I am delighted to inform you that FSM has received a project readiness financing grant from the Asian Development Bank to fund the preparation works for the SRIIP. Our meeting today will focus on guided by strategy 2030, ADB's support to a central development infrastructure funding cap. So ADB support is essential to bridge the infrastructure funding gap. Partner with the World Bank and other financiers to deliver coordinated assistance and provide knowledge support for institutional, technological, and human resource development. Given that the ocean is a small island development state and is classified as a fragile situation, project development will be Project development will take a country-focused approach and seek to use advanced technologies with a primary focus on building long-term sustainability for the operation and maintenance of the road projects. Our consultants for the SRIIP project, the SMET team, have already collected information on the Yap priority projects, which have been identified as the Canyon Bridge and the Yap Northern Roads, Tobin and Kaki Roads. In this consultation, we will be highlighting the conceptual design solution identified by the consultants for the Canyon Bridge and open the floor to welcome feedback on the road infrastructure development set to occur throughout the state of Yap. The overview of the project and the environmental and social safeguards will be presented in the next agenda item by the PMU contract specialist, I hope you stick around here later. We have invited the school to also share concerns about road infrastructure and related matters. Before concluding, I wish to note that for any project to be successful in Yap and throughout the nation, it is important that all levels of government, national, state, and municipal, work together as one team to ensure smooth and timely implementation. In addition, we must work in harmony with our traditional leaders. Hence, reaching the successful stage for this project so far is a tribute to the close support and collaboration that exists among the leadership of Yap, both in government and among the traditional leaders. In this regard, I respectfully acknowledge the chairman of the Council of Pilon and the members of the council, and the chairman of the Council of the Law and the members of the council, and humbly extend our utmost appreciation for their important role, that the traditional leaders continue to play in our nation's efforts. It is because of their wisdom and advice that we stand together as a strong island nation. Honorable Governor Salado and his cabinet members, and the Honorable Speaker Figure and members of the legislature, who without their support, these projects would not have been possible. We thank the Governor and the Speaker for their collective leadership and their vision, and we look forward to working with the state of Yap closely on many infrastructure projects that are now beginning to be implemented after the lifting of the COVID-19 travel restrictions. Let me close my remarks by thanking you all for your time. I wish you a successful meeting, and I look forward to working with you all to prepare a successful road infrastructure network. Come on.
Please, let's give Secretary another round of applause for the reward. Thank you so much, Secretary. At this juncture, I'd like to again call on to all of you out under the fence that we still have many seats up here. Please feel free to come. You're more than welcome to join. And if you have not registered, we notice some people are coming in. Please do sign up before the end of the day. I'd like to call on to Senator Jesse Silver to grace our food this afternoon. We know that a lot of you have lots of stuff at the office waiting in each lunchtime. So with that, let's grace the food so we can have lunch and continue on with our meeting. Senator.
I'm your God and God for this gathering. The size of the gathering today says that to us is a very important gathering indeed. And so let us pray to thank God for His blessings and His guidance, and for allowing all our leaders and the Secretary of TCNI, Council Office, and his staff, and ADB representative and engineer. Lord, bless all the thoughts of our leaders and our people, and the hearts of those who have expressed their willingness and their kindness to help our people and our state to achieve our development plans. We thank God for Jesus, and we pray and ask that He allow us and show us how each of us and all of us can follow Jesus in thoughts, words, and action every day. Thank you, Lord. And so let us say our grace for all that we will come through today. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts you are about to receive from thy bounty, through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Senator. Just before we partake the food, let me now call on to Mr. Santa Alessi. Many of you have known Santa to give us the lineup after our meal, so please don't run away. Here's Santa. Thank you, Sebastian. My respects to the traditional leaders, the chairman of Council Perron, and members, chairman of Council Perron, and members, respected leaders, members of the legislature, directors, and secretary of office, and representative. So the session we have this evening is to go through the proposed road projects for the ADB project readiness grant, sustainable roads infrastructure improvement project. But in talking about it, we want to get the feedback from you, the actual stakeholders and the beneficiary of the project. We do appreciate as well that it is after lunchtime, so we will be distributing lunch as well, so you're all going hungry. But in the meantime, I will just be going through the presentation, and you will have also seen them distributing a questionnaire. Everything comes down to the questionnaire. And what I will do is that I will explain the details of the questionnaire and the idea behind it, so you will understand the exact information that we're looking for. All right. So I will ask. Okay, I think they're going to food, so they're going to be distributed. So within 10 minutes, we just allow it to distribute. Within 10 minutes, I'll start the presentation. Okay. So within 30 minutes will start. I hope the food is okay. If you have not gotten much, please proceed to have it and give yourself a vote. The table, we have your table here in 5 minutes, according to Shankar. In 5 minutes time, we're gonna begin with our presentation this afternoon. And we want to engage a stakeholders meeting where everybody will be able to interact with full stomach. And please don't fill up your stomachs and the lunch really is prepared. You will stay back for the event. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, no, because I already WhatsApp them and said everything. So that was just to be formally make it so you both know.
Okay, good afternoon again, everyone. So as promised, we're going to start the presentation on the ADB roads project, covering the environmental and social safeguards part of the presentation. The purpose of this exercise is to give feedback from the public in terms of what their opinions are on the project. We're going to talk about the priority projects that are identified for YAP. We're also going to show you a conceptual design for the new bridge and what it looks like, which we hope will spark a lot of conversation as it relates to the design of each. Finally, I'm going to talk about the questionnaire that you all have been shared and what role it's going to play in determining the final short list of projects that will be selected for YAP for funding. So we're going to go ahead and start. Okay, so this is the overall outlook of how we're going to be affected. We're going to, right. So we're going to talk about the projects so far. So these projects that were identified by the YAP leadership, the Camille Bridge, northern unpaved roads. We're going to go into detail in terms of showing exactly where these northern unpaved roads are. Some of you may have actually seen our consultants out there collecting some soil samples and so on. The sort of people. So they will be picking up information on the soils and topography. Okay. So this is the first one, which is the Gill Road. If you can see at the center is the FMI campus. We essentially starting right with unpaved section, right when you come off of the paved section, going all the way to the school right after the village. All right. So this area has this sort of gray soil and plains. So that information will be fed back to the geotechnical lab, where they're going to assess what sort of road improvements need to be done on the surface before we put the rigid pavements on top. The other road is the Tunnel Road, so a little before the FMI campus, there'll be a turn off on the right. Here you have a red clay, and that red clay, I'm sure many of you who actually pass on this road knows when rain falls, it becomes impassable. So that's red soil and clay actually poses a lot of challenges when moisture hits it. And at the end of the intersection will be where the school is. The final one project on the long list of prioritized routes for the leadership is the Canadian Bridge. One of the interesting things that I think when the consultants and I did the original conceptual design was, and it came up with the leadership, is that we also need to treat with the settlement that happens in the Canadian Bridge. So if you take a plan, you look over here, you will notice the bay that's passing through. There's a lot of what we call accretion on those red lines that you see in there, where you have siltation, because the Canadian Bridge passing underneath acts as like a constricted space. So that little water that passes underneath there, going back and forth with the tides, causes an accretion that's actually settling on both sides of the bridge. So whatever solution we're coming up with needs to treat with that constriction as well.
not just getting vehicles to pass. So in other words, from a perspective of a road user, you just want to be able to cross the bridge. You want to use that bridge again instead of having to pass all around there. But there's also another concern that we have to treat with, which is the environmental side of the conversation, which is that siltation that's happening there. All right. So in looking at the actual solution, we're treating with a few things. Allowing people to cross the bridge again, which is strengthening the bridge to be able to take vehicular traffic, raising the bridge, all right, to make it more climate resilient. And we're also looking at widening the channel so that we would have a greater flow of water once the tides go in and out. So that way there will be less siltation and you will have a more natural exchange of water between the landward side of the bay and the seaward side of the bay. So I don't know how much of this you can make out, but this is the conceptual design of the bridge. So the bridge is essentially we're going to be doing abutments on each side. We're going to be going back around 20 to 30 feet from the existing abutments. We'll be driving piles and setting up a new abutment more on the approach, and then using structural supports to be able to span that entire area without coming with any piers. So if you look in the middle, you will see the existing abutments that is there now, and on the left, on the extreme sides, you see new abutments that are being proposed with a widening of the channel. So your channel essentially is going to be widened by somewhere between 40 to 50 feet. All right? So we're then going to be treated with a series of issues there, not just widening to increase the exchange of water, but we're also going to be giving that clear space in order to get that extra height on the bridge as well. Here's a cross-section of the actual structural support, because the question will then be, well, if you have a bridge of 105 feet, which is what exists now, and we decide to go back further, how are we going to support that without piers? So one of the solutions the consultant came up with was using box girders that actually could span that length, precast box girders. So you could span it without having intermediary supports throughout the day. So that way we don't touch the water. All right, so essentially you have two abutments on either side, and you just have the box girders spanning the entire bay. All right, so that's the actual structural support that it will have. So we have the environmental and social safeguards part of the conversation. What I will touch on these items quickly, but I really wanted to hear the feedback on the project, the design that we just showed. So I will touch on these sections very quickly, but I want to bring the conversation back to the projects. So does anyone have comments on the new bridge they want to share now? Yes?
Hi, please. I'm Dan Hellman, I teach at the college here. Can you tell us more about the bridge design and what data you have that's going to say that the sediment will flush out tomorrow day? I know a lot of us are concerned that if we replace the bridge, it should be appropriate and should really be successful in revitalizing the bay here so that the siltation is reversed. Because I know people were telling me in the past there was a lot of coral here, a lot of fish, and really, I mean, I'm a bit skeptical that any abutment would be appropriate. So that's my question. Like, are even the change, the small change that you're proposing, is it going to be enough? Thanks.
So great question. So let me just see if I give much. It's I can go back and forth a little bit. So from what you say, what you're looking at is a revitalization of the bay. The question is, will this engineering solution actually revitalize the bay or not? Now, what I want to ask back is when you say revitalization, what do you mean? Because I gather, because different people I talk to, I hear different things. You started to explain it, but if you could just win a little more depth what that means to you, that revitalization.
So, I don't know the history so much for when this bridge was put, but apparently, the siltation that we see now didn't start until this bridge with the abutments was put in. And that previously, the condition was quite different. And the reason this is important is because as siltation increases, then the depth of the bay becomes less and less and less. And then not only is it less of a useful bay, but it also becomes a hazard for flooding. But I would think, I mean, if the abutments cause the siltation, the obvious thing is remove the abutments completely. So to me, I think reproducing what it used to be in the past, and the older generation here can probably tell you more what it looked like. I've only been here about 3 years, but thank you so much for the follow-up.
Sure. Okay, so I think I understand a little clearer now. So I'm going to ask you to talk about the structural properties of the bridge very soon to understand the function of the abutment. All right, because it's very important to understand that why not just get rid of the abutment? You know, why have it at all? All right, so we'll get into that just now. But you're absolutely right in that coming up with an engineering solution, you do have to be very clear on what the design goals are. And to show you how important that is, the lead consultant who did this conceptual design is actually going to send an environmental specialist to actually come on the site and do an environmental assessment to inform the design. He's actually going to be here from November 15th, I think. All right. So he's actually going to be doing all of these assessments. So when you say it has siltation or you see the draft starting to reduce, he's going to quantify those things. So you actually have something that you can work with. So that when you come up with a solution, you very specifically solve the problem.
Has he made, I'm sorry for jumping in, has he made models already?
No.
So okay.
Yeah.
So this really hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, no, he has to come and just, so the first thing he's going to do is the inspection, see the environmental problems that we're seeing, be able to assess the extent of the problem, to be able to quantify it in terms of numbers. And when he quantifies it, then he will come up with a risk mitigation mechanism, which part of it is going to be a modification of the conceptual design in order to treat it. What you see in here is simply a structural conceptual design in terms of how it looks, but it's not the final design.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Sure.
I mean, there are several possibilities with this. I wonder, because there are structural demands on the grid,
Right.
and abutments are, what about, has there been any design work done for the abutments pushed all the way back? And is that one of the projects as well, for the bridge to spend all the way across with the abutments not impinging on each other at all?
Yeah, so that is the goal. The goal is to span the entire thing. It may not be possible, but our intent is to get as close to that as possible. All right? But just to make sure there's an appreciation, let me ask Willie just to go through the structural elements of it. And then I'll come back to your question and we will go back and forth. Yeah? All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The existing bridge right now has a very high opening. Okay. The new bridge that was conceptualized will have a span of around 140 to 150 feet to widen that opening that we have right now. There will be no intermediate support. You know, you have a clear span of around 140 to 150 or even more. And that's free. That's going to be open up. It's going to be a free opening, no obstruction. Did I answer your question, sir?
Yeah, maybe this mic isn't working so well, but, I mean, the span before the bridge was there, I'm just guessing is about 250 feet, something like that.
250, okay. What supported it?
Before the bridge was put in.
Okay,
Because that's really the question is, what's gonna produce a similar kind of waterway?
Right.
So that the siltations will no longer be a problem. Because otherwise, if you have siltation that's ongoing, then you only have a certain span of years before you have to do extensive work, like dredging, or even replace the infrastructure.
I mean, dredging is something we definitely want to avoid, especially with dealing with international pool banks. We try to avoid dredging, because that tends to really upset, basically the entire hydrodynamic balance of the area and so on. So once it is we're able to come up with a conceptual design that sets up a balance in the beam, then naturally the flow of tides things should return to normal. All right. But I want to be mindful of just what? Just what? Right. So I want to be mindful that you understand how this works. So if you notice on end of each each end of the bridge, you see a pile cap and a 100-foot pile. All right. And the reason for that is to anchor the edge of the bridge. All right. Now, once that is anchored, so if you think of the approach to the new bridge, as you start the approach, that's where this foundation is going to be. So once you set that foundation in place, then the box builders is what is going to give you the span of the entire width. What it's also proposing is to widen the bridge to the point where you could have pedestrians on both sides. We're going to talk a little bit about that a little later on in terms of consideration for gender and youth. All right, because young people will probably want to exercise there, you have kids who's walking over there, you need to have adequate lighting and so on. So all of that we're going to get into a little later on. But the key thing is that I could tell you that the design consideration of being considered now is to have the span as wide as possible, but still span it without having to put an intermediary here. Because the moment we put that intermediary here, that becomes an obstacle for more association to continue. So we're trying to avoid that intermediary here and just have the box to the span the entire thing. All right. So that's the idea of the conceptual design of how we're actually going to support the roads. All right. And of course, loads of designs for even for trucks to pass on it as well. All right. Sally, does that answer your question? Any follow-up?
I'd like to invite someone else to do that.
Okay, we'll come back. I still want to hear some more questions from you. I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. I think we have one.
One.
Yeah. Thank you very much for what you shared with us today.
Thank you.
My only concern with the bridge, I know it's very much smaller than what we have in Palau. I mean, what they have in Palau.
This is the system.
Yes. So with the bridge you propose for us today, is weight limited or no limit on the weight traveling?
Yeah, so definitely there's no limit. That's a good question. So that is a design consideration where myself and Rudy was just talking about that. That's to require each H20 requirement before. Now the requirement is HL93, which allows for even 40-foot containers to actually cross the bridge and so on. So we wouldn't have a waiting limit whatsoever for structures.
And one more, maybe I didn't hear you mention the height.
Yes, yes.
What's the height?
The intent is to go up by 9 feet. So think of the existing deck, go up by 9 feet.
Okay, there is one, I'm asking for this. There's a lot of people living in the bay, and just a couple days ago we had weather, and the time is very hard, very high, and they couldn't bring their boat in
Yes.
because very low. So are you planning to move it up a little, or stay at the existing height?
No, it's more by 90. So the clearance is going to increase by 90. That definitely was a consistent issue that everyone mentioned about high tide. You can't come in. So the intent is that wherever you have noise, if you think of high tide, your head probably will just touch the other side of those rusty buildings. With this new design, we'll have 9-foot clearance beyond.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's it. Any further questions on the design? What about the guys outside on the fence? Any questions? I see the rest of you smiling. Okay. All right, so I mean, we'll have plenty of opportunities for questions throughout the session. But let me just go through. All right, and we can always come back to the language of even road design considerations. Right? So in this, we want to have an appreciation in terms of what is environmental and social safeguards. Environmental and social safeguards is what is called part of the triple bottom line for any projects. Construction has evolved over the past 10 years to move away from just building hard structures. Construction now is about people, planet, profit. Yes, at the end of the day, you want to make it so that your user cost drop and it's actually a feasible project, but you also want to be with people and planet, which is that people is helping people and planet to benefit the environment in some way. So we're going to be talking through this environmental, social, and safeguard process, and it's the same for ADBs and World Bank, which complements the project so that we could actually move forward. So the approach is a commitment to avoid, minimize, mitigate, and eliminate any adverse impact on indigenous people and ecosystems we rely on, and undertake due diligence to ensure that all aspects of the project could move forward, and of course ensuring the safety of all of the population. All right. So one of the key things, and that's why we're so happy to see such a good turnout here today, a big part of it is stakeholder consultation. That is one thing to say that you're going to build, but before you build, you have to come to the people. You know, you can't just decide on what you're going to build it, and then you're like, hey, we just build this street. So the intent is throughout the entire process is what you call creating a participatory design. And that participation design is involving the community, involving relevant stakeholders at the different stages of the project, so that when the project is finally designed, it's something that people actually want. All right? So the big part of this stakeholder consultation, how we actually garner what it is your interpretation is based on the questionnaire. All right? So the questionnaire that you will pass along, and we walk you through each of the questions, the intent behind it, and how you can look about actually approaching responses to it. All right? We're also going to be looking at, surveys of the actual area. We'll be looking at land type surveys and issue in terms of land ownership and so on. And we'll also be looking at protected areas. One of the key things I want to point out is that when the environmental assessment is done, once a project is classed as a Class A, you will not fund it without an environmental impact assessment. All right? So it's something that we're very mindful of to make sure that whatever we build, whatever we're proposing, doesn't affect the environment in the state. All right? So in doing designs, it's important that if you look at the title of the program, sustainable road investment infrastructure project, right? The intent of that is that when we're designing, we're not just designing for tomorrow. We design for how the climate is changing, design for the future. So for all of these projects, all of these projects, we're designing for what they call RCD 4.5, which is a medium category of how long things are going to be climate change. So our design is going to be 2090. All right, so that's 70 years, a little over 70 years away all right? So the design that we come up with must be able to stand up to that point, all right? Now, in order for you to stand up, if you think of an average road, an average asphalt road, so we're going to get into a conversation of asphalt this concrete. This is another hotly debated topic, right? So, we are open at this time to go asphalt versus concrete. It could go either way, but the question is, and each state answer seems to be different. All right, what is the best solution for your state? So, India, what is the best solution? What we found is that in FSM has a higher monthly rainfall compared to other places. So, if you compare it to Miami, the monthly rainfall in Miami is somewhere between 3 to 5 inches. In FSM, it's actually between 33 and 35 inches to give you an idea of how much more rain it has here. So if you put asphalt under that pressure for it to last 50 something years, it starts to become difficult. But if you have rigid pavements, which is like concrete, and there are different solutions, different concrete solutions, different concrete road solutions, it could stand up a little bit. All right. So these are some of the risks that we see, and these images were when we had the flooding in King Tides last year. This was pulled from the papers. Asphalt, this is just the composition of asphalt, roads, and how you get it, the final hotness of asphalt. Concrete, you're looking at gravel, water, and then you get concrete road. All right. Now, if you compare it, the components of each of these designs are slightly different. All right. But you will notice one, water helps. All right, as opposed to asphalt. All right. So the question is, which one will stand up better? So from an engineering standpoint, we could say that concrete, water oil interaction is like, is exactly what happens with asphalt and stones. So once a storm hits, that's the result of it. So water, asphalt, don't really make some chemical standpoint. So the critical component of concrete is water, and construction climate resilience therefore lends to concrete roads. However, concrete roads are more expensive. That's the challenge. So now we're starting to reach, and remember I mentioned the bottom line, right? People plan a profit. So it's now getting to a middle point, but where do you lie? Do you lie in concrete? Do you lie in asphalt? I can tell you there's no clear answer. All right. So before I go into general new considerations, I want to back out to the floor. First line, what do you think? Concrete or asphalt? Question? Concrete. Director. Tell me why you say concrete. Yeah, right.
I think concrete can easily maintained by our local contractor, and it's really available. The materials is available in our local stores. In comparison to asphalt, we have seen over the years that you do not have the material available. We do have some equipment donated by other government, but when it comes to the maintenance of those equipment, it creates a lot of hazard material. We do not have the capacity and the capability to let it go. And it's stockpiling over the years. And right now, the government have built a storage facility for it. And it's all my iron, so it's a concern. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, just for those who know, I have to say, I mean, there's my boss, because they say yes. But I'm looking at UBC. Where's UBC? UBC, come to the front here. Don't need to be part of this conversation. Come to the front. So let me ask this directly, because I really want your opinion as well, and I want UBC's opinion as well. So, yes. So we want to come here after the comment. So let me ask this director. If we have an option and two northern roads, right, could be built by ADB, but they tell you could get two roads asphalt if you want, But if you want concrete, you can only have one road. Which one would you choose? One. I like it. I like it. I like that. I think we have a question for you, Dr. Chapman.
No, for economic. Local contractors suppose you have to project plan. In the country, the local contractor can do it.
Right.
And you can do it today.
Thank you. And that was something that we found as well in Chuk and in Israel, which is that there was a lot of local capacity to do those projects. And just as Director mentioned, if something goes wrong and you have like some stalling starting to happen, you could get a local contractor to come with a concrete so equipment, just be stuff and then repair. So, you have that side of the conversation as well. But we also have a very large contractor on the island who has a brand new asphalt plant. So I will be intrigued to hear what their position is in going forward. Which one do you think is better? Asphalt or concrete? And why?
Yeah, and easy. For us, we already have the brand new asphalt plant, but for me, we prefer also the concrete, but the concrete here in Ireland, even the concrete box plant, because doing the concrete the road to take a massive concrete pouring, so we need a good concrete box plant on that one. I think the using the volumetric is not ideal. We prefer the concrete plant. If that would be.
So the issue from what you're saying is a question of scalability. That if you have to do a large amount of roads, concrete is good, but you have to have the equipment on the island to be able to produce concrete at that scale. Let me ask this though. As a question that I actually borrowed this presentation from a good colleague of mine, Trevor Delonzo, who's the project manager for the roads programs in World Bank. And he made an interesting observation where he was saying that the amount of rain that happens in FSM, for hot mix asphalt, you have to have based on quality a certain temperature, right? That you have to hit it. With the amount of rain that happens, how are you going to do any kind of long pavement? I'm talking like miles with asphalt. How do you maintain that temperature? You just get a shower that comes down, which happens okay. As a contractor, how would you maintain that temperature in that kind of circumstances?
Yeah, actually, if the weather is not that good, we will not proceed with the asphalt paving. But during the batching, the temperature before the asphalt leave the batching plant, it will be measured. Then upon arrival on the site, it will be measured again. So everything will be according to the specs.
Right. So then what you're saying is that if you have a lot of intermittent showers, your work will essentially stop, start. So the impact will be intact. It will take longer for you to able in these sort of conditions. I want to ask Ono is actually our principal for the construction manager. You guys seen about me on your project. Ono, how do you deal with a situation like that? If you have to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. We stopped the work. We got the contractor, had to start away, come back with a charge and stop. So obviously we keep an eye on the weather forecast. We asked Amos for the weather forecast the other day. He got it terribly wrong. So even like 2 part gets on sometimes. But yeah, the work around the weather was busy, and we did have to stop the work.
Okay, I have a question regarding the asphalt concrete. What's the maximum temperature for the asphalt concrete to be able to be sort of replaced and it will maintain the quality that is about?
Yeah, it is for the specs, if I'm not mistaken, it would be 270 to 320 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
I think the facilities are a little low.
No, I mean the minimum, sir. Yeah, I mean, sir, I think we're not that prepared, but yeah, I think it's up to 70, between 270 and 320. I'm not sure.
Okay,
We will verify that.
how can you maintain the temperature that is within the range closer to 320?
Yes, sir.
In travel time, say 30 minutes, something like that.
Yes, sir. Regarding that one, before the asphalt plant, before the asphalt concrete fix the plant, it will be measured, and upon the arrival, it will be measured again. So if the asphalt concrete didn't meet the specs, so it will be rejected.
Okay, so say you have a temperature of the plant, discharge the asphalt, drop it to the ground. What temperature you will have so that you have a good temperature to increase the placement side?
Usually, sir, that one we do it around 300 degrees.
Okay, thanks, Jefferson. I mean, a lot of it will depend on the specs of your contract, and we don't want to put you on the spot with the specs of your contract, but that will be defined in the contract and the methodology. But what I want to get out is that from a conceptual design perspective, there is consideration in terms of what people want, and what really is the best over this extended period of time. Consideration has to be taken into that.
Sorry, me again. I don't know if you involved in the first phase and the second phase of that. The south, second phase or the first phase was very deep, maybe 3 inches, and it went 15 to 10 years already. And we don't have problem with the bay in the south. But up north, you will notice that it is very deep. I don't know whether it's budget or not. So it was, very early to be damaged. So if you could put in your proposal to even out with the south up to north. And there's a right to it because I kind of support asphalt because of cheap for us to repair the roads and for the country. It's very good, but then we're gonna have to maintain a level up so the water won't get on to create algae to make the road very smooth. And that creates hazardous and safety to the people. So look at solid asphalt and see how big it is. Check out to the north, because the road is very big. And plus one, the first phase, we used the whole road, what the people has supposed to be used. When the second phase will be, they turn it in the road. So we have a big stage to use, but when the second phase came in, it was very big, and then we did stage. The bus or the equipment come in, everybody has to park on the side of the road for them to go before they go there. So if you go back to the first phase, how the road was done, with all the environmental assessment, maybe would help. So I support us.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And you're right. In that, it's a question of just design, in that if you were to come with concrete versus asphalt, can you design a strong enough to be able to withstand against that? But of course, sometimes what we have to find is that there are some people who are involved and dealing with the strain on a daily basis of these roads, and they also have an experience in terms of, well, what is the reality out there in dealing with these roads? Which one is easier for me to do with concrete or asphalt? And I see Director Theo has the mic, and I know Director Theo always gives you guidance on that. So Director Theo, you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I can imagine concrete road with our bank or any type of road whatever we ordered, with all the part we now have the but anyway, and we want to the differentiation in temperature for the asphalt. That is the problem with the plant that we have encountered so far, because when it is invested, it has too much complex. We have two piles under the already from bias function. And when the sun is hot, it flows. So we have people in those municipalities or those villages who's asking the public was do something about this. This is creating a lot of problems in our village. That is the that's all I want to say.
So, I think it's something that, just to go back to the gentleman's their point, you know, the design is something that I think we want to stick to. So even as you mentioned, you know, the drain and going on the water going in proper areas. One of the things I would comment about Gap is Gap is one of the best states in terms of that cross section design. In many states, what I found is that you just have the road lane, but in Gap you have well-defined reserves. So it's something that you don't have much room to do in order to bring it up to a certain international standard. So having it drain and making sure that the design of the cross section is such that the water doesn't stay on the road. But that's where the damage comes from when the water stays on the road. But the key thing is you want to have it with a found so that once the rain hits, it goes to the drainage very quickly, and that there's a clear, predefined route from there to the outfall. So it's something that I think, you know, the designer definitely have to take into account with that. So I mean, we essentially have 3, 4 concrete and 1 for asphalt. I mean, we have any more saying for asphalt?
I think it boils down to the quality, and the quality control for concrete is a lot more direct and easy to do than asphalt. Asphalt has a lot of testing to that.
Yeah, I mean, quality definitely is a consideration, but if you think about contracts and more contracts are done, shouldn't if you hire a construction manager, shouldn't they be so quality higher industry? You know, whether you asphalt the concrete, it be more challenging to get the quality for the asphalt. But the obligation for the construction manager is that he has to get quality either way. Correct or not? Yes. So,
should I answer? Yeah, because you see, if you are just looking for big contractors who can avoid, who can manage or afford to put up a batching plant, yeah, it will improve the quality control for the mixing and the mix on asphalt. But then for local contractors, you don't have the capacity to put up a batching plant for asphalt. But for concrete, you can have some mobile mixers and not necessarily a batching plant.
Yeah, I think that's an important consideration as well in terms of thinking not just that you come up with a design, but what design can the state handle? You know, do you have a design where there is capacity on island to implement that design? You know, so that's an important part of the conversation as well. So let me just park the conversation on some of this concrete for now. We'll come back to it, but I want to touch on it briefly on gender and youth before I come to the question. So, right. So the key things with, because a lot of you have to know gender, what is the considerations that come with that? But the New Bridge is a very good example of what that is. Even the road we walk on roads as well. If you have kids walking on this design, so you can come up with a design, but it doesn't mean that the design is safe for everyone. So we have to make sure we take into account mothers carrying their kids to school. If they're coming in from lessons late in the night, I mean, is it dark? You know, that side of that thing that you provide, is it safe? Is it the right size so that when you have a car passing, this is not going to get pulled into the way. So for gender and youth considerations is something that I think is very important. And one of the paramount considerations is safety of women and girls. All right. One of the things that really came out from the consultations in Pompeii is a lot of the kids, the problems that kids face in traveling in the rain. So when rain falls and you have to go to school, you waited for the bus, but you don't have any bus shelters. So you have to get wet. If you're coming from the outer islands and you have to get in soup. If you get a drop off on the main road and have to walk to the schools, there's no sidewalk and you get splashed. All right. So all these are considerations, I think, from a genuine perspective. I want to ask if anyone has any specific comments in relation to that, particularly from the women in the audience. Do we have any other comments or considerations as it relates to women and youth? So is that it?
I don't think I need a mic. I'm sure the gender component is a requirement for this the national financial scheme. And the green is used by all genders. And the beauty about that green is extremely close to the public safety building. And safety is right there. It's visible from public safety to, I believe in past years, someone fell from that police, and it's the police who provide the rescue. So we're pretty much addressing that component. ADB Yap. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's something I think the location of public safety, as you said, we definitely have with the safety consideration for these projects. So I want to touch really quickly on the questioning and walk you through some of the questions on questioning. And then I'll walk you through if you want to go back and talk about the projects. Okay, so you will notice these parameters in your questioning, and we're asking people what is more important to them. This is actually the parameters that feed into the multi-criteria analysis that is going to take your long list to a short list. All right, that short list is the list that ADB is actually going to finance. So there are different considerations that ADB has in accordance with their development agenda 2030. So we're looking at whatever road you recommended. It has to give improved access and connectivity. It must give climate and disaster resilience. It must have community support. It must have economic efficiency, and it must have capital. It must provide capital and costs. Now, why is this important? This is important because at the last section of the questionnaire, you will see an opportunity for you to recommend roads. All right, that is very important. But the question we're saying is that if you want more roads done, you have to convince us why is this road important to you in relation to those parameters. Yeah, it provides more connectivity. It is vulnerable to climate change. We have a lot of communities there. This sort of perspective. I remember when we did the one road in Nagua, in Pompeii, to the 6 waterfalls, and there were 3 different river crossings. And in those 3 river crossings, people can't come to work once rain falls because the streams actually jump the bridge culverts. So no vehicles can pass. So that one ended up being high on the list because that improved access from connectivity was important. It was connected large communities out to the main road. So those sort of considerations is what we want to take into account as it relates to when you come up with a road. So if you say, listen, I want this road, I want this road, you really want to tell us why, So therefore, it serves a lot of people up here, we're able to deal with vulnerability, that sort of perspective. All right. So I know John may have followed quite a bit on it already. But if you think of revising answers, please feel free. you have any copies of this, in order to send it. Right? Okay. Because it's live online, so they only online.
I'm the next, now you want all of these things? No, and, it was mentioned before, desire to see more and more about the wisdom of construction projects to treat and meet these projects. Because of the very going on there. So it was expressed, and I just want to say that, although Ontario are for insurance development, and our company will do contract in case what
Yes, construction, as I mentioned in the area, in legislation, that, construction is considered a sign of economic activity. So you use it from COVID, a lot of people, they struggling still into the stimulation of this economy level. And construction is an easy way to engage a lot of different parties in order to get the economy again. So just to, I'm just going to ask projects. So we've done the questionnaires, we understand the questionnaires better. We looked at the projects, which is the Tunnel Road, the Hill Road, and we looked at different design options. We also looked at the new bridge and some of the challenges that we're facing with that. So I want to bring it back a little and come back to the project to make sure that all the concerns that we may have are addressed, or any queries or anything you may not understand, and talk it through. So I want to start back to go to the new bridge. So let's come back to the new bridge. Do we still have any questions? I'm still here. All right. Yes, and we do need to.
So it seems from an ecological standpoint that the bridge is probably not appropriate. Is there a process to send the design back and say, hey, we'd like a different design?
Yeah. So that's where we reach in this stage. So what we have here is a conceptual design. This conceptual design, that's what we're presenting to you now. So when you have feedback, that then has to go back to the design and then you revise the design, in order to address these concerns. But it's very important that, when we would have spoken to the leadership, they would have mentioned it. But it's very good that that sentiment was included here as well, because there's no demonstrated evidence that, hey, this is a concern to the community, so it's something that has to be looked at in terms of the design. Yeah? Right? See, any question? All right. Let's see. Paul?
Yeah, I've got a question. ADB Bank have got an amazing track record of building very good projects. But what I've seen a lot is the maintenance elements. And I think often the local governments or any government here doesn't have the financial ability to then maintain those structures. And it's disheartening to see a lot of them being, broken down because of lack of maintenance. Is there a provision to increase the maintenance pots or something like that to make sure that these things are going to be maintained once they're built? Because what I've noticed is there's a great lot of skill in Gap, in like the details and that throughout Pacific actually, there's a lot of skill locally. But a lot of these projects are given to international companies because they have a capacity to build them. And so that excludes the locals to a large degree. And then the maintenance, there's no budget to do the maintenance. So you mentioned drainage before, the drainage channels are blocked. There's no budget to block those channels. And that could be a great opportunity for local employees to crack on that sort of. So is there a provision in these budgets for ongoing maintenance as well?
Fantastic question. I think there are many layers to that question. But I can answer it in the context of both the World Bank and the ADB program. For the consultants that's doing this design, part of the work that they have to do is a road sector analysis. And that road sector analysis is supposed to capture across the FSM what the reality is as it relates to exactly what you're talking about. So it's easy for someone to say, hey, we don't have any money, or we may not have equipment or something, but that has to be documented somewhere in order for us to move forward. So that's one of the deliverables that SNEC has to deliver this year, to say, well, this is the reality of road maintenance in FSM. And in that report, they will then start to talk about, well, what do you do about that, right? That is something that the World Bank is taking a careful look at through their consultancies. And one of the parts of the consultancies is, if you can imagine, you have all these roads that have different kinds of road that has been done. Some stretches will be unclogging drains, some areas just to repair culverts, some areas just to repair wing wall, and so on. But in order to do that, you need to know what the asset base is like. But right now, in FSM, there is no asset base. That's one of the projects that the World Bank is using to develop a road asset and maintenance strategy. So they're going to bring out consultants and have an asset base to say, well, across the FSM, this is the condition of the road, each of the teams, and this is what needs to get done. So you can accurately quantify what sort of maintenance has to be done, both preventative and reaction. Of course, that still brings you to the problem of where is the money going to come from, and that is a challenge, there is hope that, the new compact that's going to be, the compact is supposed to treat with type 2 infrastructure, which is roads and bridges. So it is hope that, within that there could be some provision for maintenance under the island. So I believe by September next year we should be getting a clear picture in terms of consistent fund to be able to actually maintain roads as it relates to that. I don't know, Secretary, I think everything else for maintenance. Yes. It is still on negotiation. So I mean, the compact is still being negotiated, but that is the intent to use to make the election.
I think all the slide that you presented and the comments made. It's really important for the people of the stakeholders, farmers, as well as leaders. Look at the cost, damage, and repair. We have to look at two things here. We have to look at damage on loss. But if the bridge is damaged, there's loss that is associated with it. And that is the businesses, the individuals who are spending a lot of fuel on mining of fuel to go around. So it's two things that go together. If something breaks, something damaged, there's a loss somewhere. So these are the things that we need to think about. In regards to maintenance, and I'm going to give an example on the ARF building, which was funded by the SAA, Federal Aviation. One component in that, one clause in the contract that was, when the project was awarded, it requires the contractor to develop a maintenance plan for that particular building. It's a requirement under that contract. So once the building is turned over to the government, it comes with the maintenance plan. And I hope all of these major infrastructure improvement, it will also come with a plan as well. Thank you.
Thank you. That's an excellent recommendation. It is something that can easily be worked into the contract at this stage, in terms of the specifications that contractors actually come with operate and maintain plans for the assets that can actually be provided. All right. So again, I bring it back to the new bridge roads, asphalt versus concrete, environmental impact. Are there any comments even for roads beyond what we presented here? Are there roads beyond what we presented that, you know, everyone thinks, hey, we should take a look at this road as well? Yeah.
I'll just add that at the college, we are always looking to get the road paved to the college and high school right there. It's not a very long project, but it's way beyond what we already have.
Definitely. What was the road? College road? No worries, no worries. We're fine, we're fine. Excellent. Hey.
Oh, yeah, my question is not on the technicalities of the design, but it's on the funding. The strip or SRIIP, with the agreement between national government and ADB, I understand there is 5 million funding from that agreement. And that's for the whole FSM. Is there any additional funding? Am I not seeing any additional funding? Because if it's for the whole FSM, then it seems like this funding for the bridge and 2 roads to the north, Tomil and Garin, will not be enough if the 5 million is for the whole FSM. I don't know if I'm not seeing another part of the funding or, but it seems like from what I know, the agreement that is in place between FSM Finance and ADB spells out a 5 million grant from ADB and he received the rest.
No, good question. So let me, at the time, all right, so the agreement, yes, it is 5 million. But that 5 million is what we call the project readiness financing. So essentially what they're saying is that you don't want to just jump in as a bank and just start building routes. All right, that don't know the cost for. So we're gonna hire a consultant first to look at the whole of FSM and come up with conceptual design and estimate what the cost of that program is going to be before they actually start to financing for actual physical construction. So the 5 million is just for design, which you see in some of the conceptual design rates and the question. So I hope that's helpful.
So you ask a question, no money attached, no money. Or ask you, additional road.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you one.
Right.
And around the, there's a road there, but from weekend to May to Luke, I want to
So let me put the question back to you. So with those roads, what sort of population in your mind do they see? Because we have to just be fine, no? What sort of population? No, go back.
With that, then I can relate that to emergency and actual people.
True.
So add that to the population. I think there's a justification.
So route is that is going up to that's the yellow road if I'm not mistaken, going past it, and there is one of the branches coming home, correct? Oh yes, okay. Right, yes. Yes, definitely. Definitely have all the countries. All right.
Thank you, Senator. And thank you all for the very important questions and concerns that you raised. I hesitated to intervene because we really want to hear your views, and by no means if I make any comment, it's not your views. It's your views that we want to take back, put into consideration. Just going back to the career version, since several questions were raised. Certainly, environment is a major concern for everyone. Our islands are very fragile, and it's really the environment that creates great potential for tourism. So that when people come into this, it's our environment that we use. So going back to the bridge, of course, ideally, if we took that old bridge and that old offer there, that would be well. Take it back to prior to the existence of the bridge. Then we'll have the environment back to its original level. We'll have that place back to its original situation. It will take the environment some time to get back. So that question is, do you want to share again? Now, we can look at a lot of issues, but several years back, and I simply worked it, but I recall that when that Malabus was constructed, it was over 30 million dollars. And I'm sure the cost might be double or more. And our difficulty is always going back to the numbers. Can we justify spending that amount on a bridge? Now, furthermore, we have a fixed budget to work with. If we increase the dollar amount of the bridge, then we got that on the roads. So that creates a demand for us. So the idea behind this bridge is to improve it so that it is better than it is right now. And there will be environmental assessments. There will be center estimations that is to show the numbers for our environmental consider. For any government project, there will be some environmental impact. What's important is to maintain a balance. How much of the environment are we willing to give? I mean, if we don't want to do any damage to the environment, then we really have to cut back on any of them. So this is where the challenges are usually. How much the woman we want to do, how much of the impact we are willing to. So it is a tough situation. And unfortunately, the budget we do want the dollar push, but we cannot afford it. So what is our best option if we want to push them? So the question is this a good solution compared to what we have now? Now, let me use an example that we've had in the typhoon a few years ago destroyed the bridge. Iowa disaster relief funds. They rebuilt the bridge. We wanted an improved bridge, but under the requirements of Iowa, they can only build a bridge that is the exact same size as the previous bridge. They cannot improve the bridge, they have to follow the additional specifications. So I raise this because the other consideration that we have is really the requirements of our daily lives. And Shankaras is the criteria that we have to meet. But I know the concerns that we have to, as much as possible, strive to meet those issues. And try as much as possible to have an improved infrastructure, improved overall. So I just raised that because it is a challenge. But whatever you raise here is important to us, and is certainly what we will raise without doing this. Thank you very much.
In terms of balancing of this part, is there co-funding in some kind? Like it's important to say that there's 40 million, and 50 million of it, only 40 million. We have 10 million.
That's an interesting question. I would say that right now, the funding mechanisms are at national state. 5 different compact, FAA, World Bank, ADB, and Congress. Alright? So each of those, you don't really have that co-funding structure because each one of them has very strict regulations. ADB is actually very different to World Bank. These ADB projects actually came about by trying to complement the World Bank program. So they actually feeding off some of the studies that the World Bank did in order to be able to access climate mitigation financing. So it is challenging. It is something we can explore, but it is challenging. But we definitely could look to explore. All right. So.
Since we come up to the funding, is it confirmed that ADB will fund the project?
So what we have confirmed to fund at this time is the project readiness financing, which is to assess the program and come up with an overall budget for what repair to these roads will cost across FSI. There hasn't been, once that is determined and the technical information is provided, then the conversation of how much can be funded will then happen. But that project readiness financing process has to go through the stakeholder consultations, design. Because as you can imagine, if I were to say, well, you all just want to fix the bridge for cars to go over, that design could probably be 2 million. But if you were to come up with, a bridge that could span this entire bay, that may jump as high as 20 million. So, each one is very different. So the bank wouldn't be able to say for sure, we're willing to finance this one. You have to go through that project readiness phase to come up with that balanced determination. This is what the solution will be. And when that cost comes up, then we'll go back in for consideration.
Thank you. One reason why I brought it up is we have a development bank that we contribute to the country. And are they involved in planning of funding this project in Yap? I mean, the Pacific Island Development Bank. I know each state does their share into that and to help develop the nation. So are they involved in your planning?
I could say no, then they're not involved at this time. You could inquire in terms of what sort of programs they're looking at and to see whether there's any opportunity for synergy. So thanks for that recommendation. We will explore. Yeah.
I know this is going to be controversial. I don't think it's 3 weeks, so things that mainly I'll see on just here. It's just an idea, but I've noticed there's a small population with a lot of infrastructure, which obviously struggling to maintain and pay for. The crazy idea, what about don't replace the bridge? Spend that money on infrastructure, improving infrastructure that we have. Opening up the bay for boats and tourism and opportunities like that. That money could be well spent all over the island. For potentially a bridge for pedestrian zone, for storage of people on bicycles, encourage more exercise. It's just a thought.
So let's ask. Does everyone want the new bridge reopened for vehicle traffic? Is that a want to have it so that vehicles can pass?
Hello. Yeah, I have two questions. One of them relates to environment and one of them is sort of engineering. The environmental question is that both the main sewer line, and we have a oil pipeline running on that bridge. Those are being considered in the new construction. And the second question is from sitting here, I just realized that you're centering your plans on the shoulder of the existing bridge, but the south side of the bridge has a longer span. So, but the question is, can the center of the bridge be shifted to the south? And that should allow you to raise the south side much higher with less slope. And also, the current that's coming down from here is way to that side of the lagoon. So it's curving around there before it gets under the bridge. So that should release the current much easier to instead of around the. So those are my questions. Thank you.
Yes, two very good questions. So let me see if I can answer the first one. In terms of the utilities, absolutely. The final design, we do have to establish what sort of structural brackets that has to be set up to allow for utilities to actually cross the bridge. Because we're proposing box builders, we can actually run some of the utilities depending on the size through the box builder, so that we don't have to take the cost of doing some of the brackets as well. Because as you can imagine, if you raise the bridge height, and those pipes remain there, then you're not getting any clearance, any additional clearance. So that definitely is something that we have to consider. In transition into preliminary design, so it's 3 stages: conceptual, preliminary, and final design. The intended transition into preliminary design is going to deal a lot with the alignment. All right, another alignment as it relates to the beam. That's where that conversation of where the center of the bridge, of the new bridge, is going to be located, is going to come. And the environmental consideration will then come into the focus with that, because you could see that a lot of the siltation is coming from the water getting stuck at that hook on the southern side. So the question is, if we move, not just widen the channel, but also to shift the channel, will you get a lot more silt to actually come through there? All right. But I wanna come back to Omo's question a little, because I noticed the silence in the room when you asked the question. What about converting the new bridge to just a pedestrian bridge? Do you all want vehicles to cross the new bridge? I mean, since I've been here for the past 2 weeks, I just see different companies that, hey, this is really affecting business. We need to be able to get vehicles across that. I mean, not so much so from what the gentleman over there was saying that, you want to not have a weight restriction, So is it a big inconvenience? Not having bridge, not being able to use it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyone want to comment on that, on how frustrating it has been? How long has the new bridge been closed? Then I can again. Yeah, how long has it been closed? 1 year? No, that's that frustration I want to do, because that's my understanding. From here, I think
I do not think that it is wise for the state to close the bridge. The bridge serves many purposes. In 2004, there was a devastating typhoon at ADB Yap, and that is the only rescue path to the other village to move people. Because on this side of the road, it's also merged. So that provides an emergency evacuation exit to high grounds. And the Yapis word for lead, I don't know whether the younger generation knows what it is. It means connecting people, connecting certain point to the other. So it's a heritage for you, from my own perspective. Thank you.
And that's essentially it's an embodiment of the people of that principle of connectivity. And you mentioned two very critical things as it relates to consultants who are is online right now, which is that bridge actually gets redesigned. You have to design that to be able to take a typhoon wave, because it actually provides a significant function in if a typhoon comes, it's able to, provide a buffer like a breakwater, inside a suspended breakwater, to be able to prevent that storm switch from doing any more damage. And that other point that you made in terms of it being an alternative route for emergency escape, I mean, that's a critical factor as well. So I think in those sorts of considerations, you really get to see anchoring of the new bridge in terms of why it's so high priority for Yap. So, I want to thank you for that, because I think it's important that it's expressed
Yeah, and that's why I brought up the pipelines, the sewer, because it's very essential that the bridge be strengthened and repaired. Otherwise, we will have to go underwater where the pipelines are, or go around the lagoon. So it's very essential, and it's not just for traffic, but those who make infrastructure. Also, thank you.
Thank you. Second.
I don't know at this point, about before we finish, I think the people who gather here, at least they should know what among these projects is going to be funded by ADB.
So I can answer that directly. The one right now that is identified by ADB is the new bridge. So I could confirm that. Right now, at the time, there are only two projects that have been confirmed to form by ADB, which is the new bridge and the pilot project in Port, which is a secondary project. And that's why Secretary had mentioned that, budget is going to matter at the end of the conversation. But we need to make sure it is a participatory design, which is that we listen in terms of what it is the people of Yap wants, not just come to the design and say, you have to take this. All right? So bearing that in mind, and remember, I always keep bringing it back to the iron triangle, the people, planet, profit, and trying to reach that middle ground, that balanced ground. We talk about one side, which is, well, here what the idea is a bridge that expands the entire route. All right? That's the idea. Let me talk about the other extreme, which is, what if we just strengthen this existing bridge and use it as is? Don't widen anything. I've seen farms, right? And that definitely is something that will not be accepted. But let me hear some people's concerns with that. We just switch out the builders, bring in new builders, and you could drive on it within 6 months. Does that solve the problem for you?
That's all right to raise it up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the bridge. I haven't gone over it ever since I moved back to Ghana. But my concern, you mentioned earlier, is because of these people around here at least we should have to hide that alcohol on the.
So let me ask.
But we need that bridge. We're gonna do something about it. We need that bridge badly. So like the vision, we need it for the community, we need it for their citizens, we need it for business. It's very important for us. Way back, we used to be covered, and we've been maintaining, we've been from covered to concrete to now we have a level. We can fix it. We can work with it. We need it so bad. As far as funding, we just start at the scale.
Yes. But let me ask this question. You say one of the things you want to look at is raising the bridge. So if we raise the bridge but keep the existing bridge, is that a good solution?
Yes. Somebody mentioned earlier about the flow of the water. In the old days, that's what they had, because they base it on the current from the channel. And if we move it like to the south, you mentioned, there's gonna be a big damage. We have the mobile station over there, the tanks won't be gone. So it was built based on the channel. That's what they always been doing, ever since here now we could have. But as far as bridge, we need it. It's very important for us. And time is running short, and I wanted to mention this earlier. And I'm going to bring it back to the road. Where do we start? At where the paved end? So it's not going to start from the bridge, from the German Channel. Have you traveled the road a couple of days ago? You've seen it. Why is that part involving? It's very bad.
Is that the clear section? That's in our condition. So that's Woolbank. Woolbank is doing that portion. So yeah, ADB is taken from the unpaved section. Woolbank is taken the paved section from.
And whatever you do with the remaining pave all the way to the end, where you scrape it, give it to the Department Board to stockpile and use it for the secondary road here on the island. I think Director Theo would love that. When the machines start scraping it, it's really fine to be used on the secondary road. Maybe you would add it on the proposal.
Yes, that's actually several reports and our recommendation is that you say. So it talks about the possibility of reusing civil services. The pilot project that we is on the security is actually to do that. Something called folder reclamation, where it's bringing equipment to rebuild the surface of the road and add a full bitumen and cement in order to put all the stable base. So we just reusing what the road has. So definitely will be investigating the application of responsibility. But let me come back to my friend here. So he mentioned he's okay with just raising it and not widening it. What are your views on that? And do you think that we need to widen?
Thanks. Respectfully, maybe there's another choice of the abutments instead of being solid, having channels for those. I mean, there are lots of choices. The issue is 50, 70, 80 years from now. This used to be a bay. People now refer to it as a lagoon. It has drastically changed as far as ecological and geological feature because of the human-made structure. That's something that future generations will either look to us and say, thank you for being careful, or they'll look to us and say, why did you do this? So, and right now we're at the stakeholder event, so we can air, everything.
I think what's important, I want you to all know that because I think you have some good knowledge there. So you were saying that, it moved from a bay to a lagoon. Describe, and you said, the ecological impact. what in your mind was the ecological impact? Is it that there's less fishes? Is it that the water is gotten moved, it's not flowing as much as plants dying? What do you think happened over the past 40, 50 years?
So that's a really good question. So I don't have personal knowledge, obviously I'm not that old, but so if you look at bathymetry, which is the word that's similar to topography, it's just the cross section. The bathymetry in Chamorro Bay has changed drastically. It's much more shallow. And it's going to continue to get more shallow. Although, the structure of the geology is what the ecology is built on. And previously, from what I'm told, there was a lot of coral here. Yes. In here, it was a bay, it was not a lagoon. A lot of coral, a lot of fish, really nice swimming. People could fish here. The issue of weather and protecting against typhoon is a really important issue. I mean, it's really nice to have a vision. Not just for economics. The store over there, Blue Lagoon store, they have not ordered any chill for 6 months. And if you like fresh tomatoes, sorry, you're not going to get them because Blue Lagoon just isn't going to order them until the bridge comes back because they're worried they're not going to get this. And that's fine. But as far as ecology goes, we've already seen a huge change in the ecology because of the ethnic structure. And now is the time to design it in a way that's going to be useful. Now, what is ecology? Ecology is the interconnection of the living organisms upon that substrate. So the living organisms have certain functions that they do for the creatures that live on the bottom of the bay. They do things like filtration. They purify them. For some of the other creatures, they're involved in basically their biomass. You have more creatures, you have a larger biomass, you have a richer reef system, it's more resilient, it's gonna last even in the case of storms. If you take that away, if you take away the possibility of flushing out the bay and flushing out the sediment, what you end up with is your bay gets shallower and shallower and shallower and shallower. And then you're at a higher risk for, say, tsunami comes in. If it's shallower, your wave is going to be higher. It's going to go higher up on the mountain side. So that's a bit of a risk. But also it's negative impact on people's lives. You can't you can fish off here, but you're not going to catch the same kind of fish that people use.
Yeah. So let me ask. So the point that you made, the answer. Just to respond to you. So I think all of those things are key considerations that when SNEC's environmental person comes to do the assessment, that means to come looking to to make that assessment. But then I will ask this question because remember, water flow is all about volume, and that volume flow could come from either height or width. So the gentleman over there was saying that we don't need to widen it, just raise the height. So then you're saying, well, listen, no, we need to get some sort of natural flow. So let me ask the reverse. What if we don't raise the height and just widen it and get the flow? We'll still get the same flow, meter cube per second. Why not keep the height where it is now, but just widen the channel underneath? Will that solve your problem in your mind, or is it that you think you need two of them? Senator?
This is the state as the owner of the state.
It's not because the amount of base is small, that's why it's just a base. So they don't see that. There's a construction of there's a lot of to be that's what it's the base and I think most practical. And so, yes, I think when we know we will help. Right. But we still using land for some construction around. But because it's low, that's why it's getting on this. So, the kind of problem is circles. Maybe that we're concerned, but we do need this. I think the new design probably so that this is not one piece. Giving a to
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I mean, it's the bridge and two roads. I mean, so I mean, we understand the different perspectives that we do have to consider in terms of looking at the design. As Senator said, I think we did consider all the different perspectives. I can't guarantee that all different perspectives will be considered in terms of coming up with a solution before we do, in order to present a final proposal. But then let me transition now to the final step of the conversation, where I want to return the conversation to the idea of the asphalt versus concrete and the roads that we didn't build. What kind of roads does Yap want? Do they want concrete or do they want asphalt? So we did get a lot more comments going to concrete than asphalt. Do we have any final comments that wants to come as it relates to which they prefer, asphalt or concrete and why?
Sorry, it's me again. I know you folks live in Pompey. I've lived in Pompey. I've seen the road in Pompey. I've seen how the concrete is in Pompey. It needs a lot of improvement on it. So that's why I mentioned about the asphalt. Concrete, whoever comes to Pompey, they can see how some portion of the road in Pompey, how bad it is. I believe that I've seen. And all the water that goes on the concrete, like I mentioned earlier, it affects the people even by walking. It's very, very slippery. Because if we don't have the equipment to maintain the whole thing, if we have the equipment to maintain it, by all means, let's use it. It's another expense again for us to find the flush the street. I'm sure with us. As long as you liquid the asphalt and you put a sidewalk around it, so it won't melt out. I think it will be good. Thank you.
So before you get back in mind, I want to ask a question to come back to you. And something myself and my colleagues have spoke about at length. I even chatted with you about it as well, where the roads, the bar roads that you're talking about in Pompey, that's Pompey, you're right. There are certain concrete stretches that are really in horrible condition, and you see that in cheap as well, right? You don't think about the conditions of these concrete roads. But let me ask this question. Do you think the bad condition of those roads as a result of the construction, or was it designed bad? In other words, the design strength of the concrete or the design solution that we proposed just didn't cater for the weathering that was actually happening. This is a design, it's a 30-year design.
Well, I don't know if the road beyond the back of Guam or the telecommunication exit. I only see it to the I think it's the environment. We have to control the water flowing, getting on the because there's no ditch. So water is always in the road. And when the water goes under the asphalt, it damages it. So the flow of water, and part of it, they have the it needs concrete, but some part of it is broken down. It stops the water and flow to the street. So it's going to be maintained with concrete. Thank you.
That is your stagnation of flow of water. Let me ask Willie, what do you think? Those concrete roads, do you think it's construction or do you think it's design?
Most problems due to design problem.
Or design? Okay, one way. Because we do go into and we see like rebar sticking out and this sort of thing. Do you think an opportunity for maybe improve design, like maybe fiber reinforced concrete or maybe something like that is a possibility?
There are three types of rigid treatment that's being used for those projects already. We have the unreinforced jointed, we have the reinforced jointed, and then we have the continuously reinforced pavement. So if it's not reinforced, then of course it's less durable than all the reinforcement.
Just for fun, yeah. Okay, so I think we're coming to the end of the consultation, but I just want to leave it open for any questions that anyone else has. About the rules program so far, certain things that we want to see. So yes, let's come back here.
The hazard opening up another thing.
That's good. That's a good thing.
So we've talked a little bit about what happens for maintenance of the roads and sort of after projects are done, are they going to be maintained? We haven't talked about the cars and what happens to all these cars that end up here. People are very happy to have cars, keeps them dry in the rain, very comfortable, but you can see 50, 60, 70, 80 years. What's the plan? Are we gonna get licensed to ship the junk cars off island? Are we gonna put industry here to recycle the metal and float glass? What's the end of life look like for the cars and other vehicles?
That's very important, I think. Director?
It's simply that the subject matter raised here regarding vehicles is appropriate to address during this consultation. There are other programs that are working with the national along with SPCs that look into these challenges. Thank you.
So I could tell the directly asked you right. So Square Committee are looking at that in terms of how to do sustainably with vehicles. And with margin there'll be a lot of studies on what sort of market and how do you create an economy for that market. So here we'll be doing some consultancies on that as well. Some of the things that I said. You always say nothing? You're okay? Right, okay. I was looking forward to hearing you.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And that is why what is presented now is a conceptual design. So on the 15th, next environmental person is going to come and do his assessment, which is then going to do some revised iteration of this design. So that is what we need to the participatory design. So we have the stakeholder consultation where stuff is going to feed into the design. We're going to have the specialists come look at the environmental situation. That is going to feed into the design as well. Before we produce a final conceptual design, and then we get okay, yes, this is what we do. And then we need to do it.
So,
Yes, 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 yes.
why is this expensive?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I know we really wanted to learn, so let me just quickly for this. Just to share, and I think it's important for everybody's information. The initial design was just to replace this solution. So the discussions, since we've arrived, with stakeholders, with others, has resulted in that expansion from 20 to 30 on each side. So I just said that so everybody's aware that these discussions are influencing the conceptuals. So I'm sure as more information is shared, more studies are done, the bridge method, I don't know if we will look at the operation, it should be improved. Thank you.
Well, that is
I'm sorry to give another comment. I think we are missing one part. Of course, one solution is to work on a new bridge opening. But right now, the lagoon is being set. During more time, you can see some areas that's already exposing the step. And the government is a big hotel project. Some of our workers pick up the water and it's a waste they've take offset already. I think we need to also address clean up of the lagoon. And that might be another project that we need to see. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And the video of our consultation is related back to the positive ones you do. But it's very tradition and Lebanese way to improve something but to sacrifice the other things. So these are some aspects that we need to look at. The nation is a signatory to the 2015 French Agreement. And when you go through that agreement, there is a clause in that agreement that specifies a word that is a sentence that is addressed to infrastructure improvement, that is the TV, big bad better. And person buys and uses this. And it's not, he uses it for the campaign message, but it is an agreement in the Paris agreement in 2015. So we need to build the bridge back there, not the way we used to. And I hope everybody understand the importance to build that there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. What I have is on the road as asphalt versus concrete. From our experience so far, we've seen that asphalt, you have to either false seal it or do some improvement to it. At least 5 years, within 5 years, and it will be continuous. While concrete may be much longer, and the repair may be much cheaper. We have failed to seal the asphalts that we have. That's why they are deteriorating very quickly now. The other side of it is that when we work with concrete, we clean up with water, which is more environmentally friendly. But when we work with asphalt, we know that the asphalt is safe. But when we work with it in cleaning up, we have to use chemicals to clean it up out of equipment. So, that affects the environment too. Those are the kind of things we're looking at. Thank you.
Any other questions?
All we shared today is very good. Very good ideas. My last word for the day is let's get it done for the betterment for the people to use it. We need to fix the road. We need to fix it. Let's do it. We need it badly. It's affecting our living and our lifestyle and our business and our economy. We need it badly. Let's get it done. Thank you. A big smile for me.
So not necessarily a question, but just a comment. Before the session ends today, a lot has been said about the Union Bridge. Very much mentioned about main roads, and I just hope that's not an indication of a lack of desire or a lack of need for those two roads as well. It's two of the more heavily populated municipalities in terms of students, workers coming to town, and also access to services. The main hospital is in town. The lone public high school is also on this side of the main bridge. So I just wanted to note in that those two roads are also very highly needed, especially in light of the very heavy conversation regarding clear bridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. I really hope that people reflect that in the questioning, because you will notice there's a place for you to prioritize. You know, see which one do you want first, which one do you want second. You know. So if we're forced based on budgetary restrictions, we want what people want. All right. So so I think we really had a very good discussion today. I really want to thank the people of Yap for welcoming us so well. It definitely has been the largest turnout, the largest stakeholder consultation that we've had, the most engaging, most support. So we really appreciate that. We definitely will be returning, to give feedback in terms of more conversations. But at the same time, we really want to thank you for your input. So for closing remarks, I just want to move to second close the meeting. All right, and then we could just melt out and relax after the rest of the evening. We'll be here, myself will be here. So we'll get to answer questions directly here. Yeah.
Thank you, Senator. And thank you, everybody, for all the concerns that we have raised. We've listened closely to everything, and we value all your comments that you've made. Of course, our interest is to try our best to accommodate all the concerns. But our directions will really come from you all, from the state of the we already know the burdens that have been given to us by leadership, and today's opportunity allowed me to think it's public. And they are all very important and very relevant concerns. As I mentioned, the initial design of the bridge was just the exact size. I believe it was 105 feet. But over time, we've expanded it to around 150 feet. And then raised it by from 60 based on the original design to 90. So it's still in progress. I'm sure your contributions today will also influence that. And I do think the important comments about the Northern Road, Dominion and Kagil, those certainly are in the part of this. And the cost of this bridge might affect the length of those two roads. But what I'm glad to note is from the ADBs, there is additional funding that can also go towards those. So what's important in the questionnaire is for you to share what are the priorities, and then they will look at those lists and see what meets the criteria that will help facilitate moving from that long list to the short list. But this is a continuing process, so you can continue to also engage us, and also through your leadership, you can also share concerns you can ask. But I think we want to, on behalf of all of us who have come from COVID, including ADB, our teacher and staff, Sankara and leader who are here. We thank you all for joining us today. I will be leaving tomorrow. I have to be back in COVID for the Genco meeting. And Shankar will join me for that as well, but we will be back next week. So we can continue to engage. But again, you can continue to raise your concern to the director and Pamuk and the leadership there, so that your concerns are also checked. So thank you very much. Very well. Come on.
There is still more.
Oh, no, I was talking about this. So still more.